Did you know that 2 out of every 3 women over 70 silently struggle with urinary leaks? If you've ever found yourself desperately searching for a bathroom or stopped laughing mid-sentence, afraid you might lose control, please know you're not alone. What's even more heartbreaking is that most women believe it's just part of getting older and quietly suffer in silence. But the truth is far different. It's not just age. It's the little habits you repeat every day, holding your bladder a bit too long, sipping water before bed, or wearing a pair of tight-waisted pants you love that are quietly weakening your bladder and stealing your freedom, your joy, and your independence. Left unchecked, these habits don't just lead to occasional embarrassment. They can slowly isolate you, making you feel like you've lost control over your own life. In this video, I'll reveal 8 incredibly common but overlooked habits that are secretly contributing to bladder leaks. And most importantly, I'll show you simple, gentle steps you can take at home to regain bladder control, sleep more peacefully, move freely, and feel confident again. Are you ready to break free from this quiet burden? Comment ready below if you're prepared to reclaim the comfort, confidence, and calm you absolutely deserve. Have you ever told yourself, "I'll go later," only to end up clenching in silence through a family dinner, a long car ride, or a church service? What starts as a small act of willpower slowly becomes a habit. But that habit, it could be the very reason your bladder's no longer listening when you finally say, "Now." Most women don't even notice they're doing it. You're in the middle of something, folding laundry, watching TV, helping your grandchild with homework, and you feel that little urge. But instead of getting up, you wait. You hold it in because it's not urgent, because it can wait. The problem is, over time, your bladder gets used to being ignored. Your pelvic muscles stay contracted longer than they should. The nerves that signal urgency become confused. Eventually, your body stops giving you that early warning. And suddenly, when the urge does hit, it's too late. This isn't just about occasional discomfort. It's about training your bladder the wrong way. By constantly postponing bathroom trips, you're teaching your body to suppress signals it desperately needs to respond to. And as the muscles weaken from chronic strain, you may start experiencing unexpected leaks, strong, uncontrollable urges, or worse, full accidents during moments you used to enjoy without fear. Imagine sitting in the movie theater with friends, halfway through a film you've waited months to see. You feel the urge, but the line was too long during previews. You wait, just a bit more. Then a cough, a laugh, a small movement, and suddenly, panic. That moment isn't just inconvenient, it's heartbreaking. It steals your confidence, your comfort, your freedom. The fix isn't complicated. It's about listening to your body again, creating a consistent routine, going when you feel the urge, even if it's not convenient. Think of it not as weakness, but as retraining your bladder to trust you again. Bladder-friendly routines like voiding every 2 to 3 hours can help retrain those overstretched nerves and muscles. Pair that with gentle pelvic floor exercises, and your bladder can regain strength and predictability over time. This one habit, holding it too long, feels like a small thing, but it might be the very reason you're losing peace of mind during the moments you love most. Let's not wait anymore. Not for later. Not for after this show. Let's start listening now. Before we dive in, if anything I've said so far has felt familiar, just type the word "yes" in the comments below. Because what we're about to uncover might explain why your nights feel so restless and your mornings so frustrating. Did you know that nearly 60% of seniors over 70 wake up at least twice a night to urinate? And many have no idea it's connected to what they drank just hours before bed. You might think staying hydrated is good, and it is, but the timing, that's where everything starts to go wrong. We've been taught all our lives to drink more water, and for good reason. Hydration supports your heart, digestion, skin, and joints. But as we age, our kidneys become less efficient, our bladder loses elasticity, and our bodies become more sensitive to timing. That glass of water or tea, or just a sip of juice after dinner can quietly sabotage your night and your confidence. It starts innocently. A little nighttime thirst, a small cup of tea to unwind. But then 1 a.m. hits. You wake up, not just groggy, but with urgency. You try to hold it, stumble toward the bathroom half asleep, or worse, don't make it in time. Now you're awake, anxious, and embarrassed. And the worst part, you may do it again at 3 a.m. and then again at 5. This repeated disruption isn't just annoying. It affects everything. Interrupted sleep leads to fatigue, brain fog, poor balance, mood swings, and even a higher risk of falls during nighttime bathroom trips. For many women, the fear of leaking at night leads to skipping sleepovers, avoiding travel, or even isolating from loved ones. But there's hope, and it starts with shifting your hydration schedule. Try this: drink more water earlier in the day, especially between breakfast and lunch. After 6 p.m., now taper down. Switch to small sips if needed, and avoid diuretics like tea, coffee, or alcohol at night. You're not depriving your body, you're retraining it. You're giving your kidneys time to filter fluid before bedtime, and your bladder a chance to rest. If nighttime leaks have become part of your routine, you're not alone, but you're not stuck. With small changes in timing, you may begin to sleep through the night again. No more rushing, no more ruined pajamas, just calm, uninterrupted rest. And the joy of waking up dry, steady, and in control. Because hydration is vital, but peace of mind, that matters too. You deserve both. Have you ever found yourself walking faster than you should, tightening your muscles, clenching your jaw, hoping you'll make it in time? That desperate shuffle to the bathroom isn't just stressful. It's actually training your bladder the wrong way. When we constantly rush to the toilet at the very first sign of urgency, we reinforce the belief that our bladder can't wait. And over time, that belief becomes reality. Here's what happens inside your body the moment you sense a little pressure. Your brain reacts like it's an emergency, even if your bladder isn't full. Your pelvic floor tenses up, your abdominal muscles tighten, and your nervous system switches into panic mode. If you run to the bathroom each time this happens, your bladder starts to believe that mild sensations are full-on emergencies. That means you'll feel urgency more often, even when there's not much urine inside. Now think about how that affects daily life. You plan errands around restroom locations. You avoid parks without bathrooms. You decline outings with friends because you're worried about what if. It's not just your bladder that's shrinking, your world is too, but there's a better way. It's called bladder training, and it starts with trust. When you feel the urge, pause, breathe, gently contract your pelvic floor muscles. Give your body a moment to regain control before you head to the bathroom. Over time, these small moments of calm can help reprogram your nervous system, increase your bladder's capacity, and reduce the frequency of leaks. You might be surprised how much power you still have. And every time you resist the rush just for 60 seconds, you're building strength, not just in your body, but in your confidence. Nope, it's not always easy, especially when you've dealt with leaks before. But you're not the same woman you were 5 years ago or even 5 months ago. You've lived, adapted, survived, and your bladder can learn too. So the next time you feel that urge, don't panic. Don't run. Just breathe. Because with patience and practice, you may find that your body listens a little better and your days feel a lot more free. Let's talk about something most women don't discuss, but almost all experience. Constipation. Not just the discomfort, but the silent damage it can cause. Because every time you strain too hard on the toilet, you're not just hurting your gut, you're putting intense pressure on the same muscles that help you control your bladder. Here's the truth many doctors don't say clearly. Your pelvic floor is one integrated system. When you push too hard to have a bowel movement, those muscles stretch, fatigue, and sometimes even weaken permanently. Over time, this leads to less control, more leaks, and a heavier sense of pressure you carry with you throughout the day. Some women describe it as a dragging feeling. Others say they feel looser down there after weeks or months of struggling with slow digestion. But no one connects it to the tiny morning habit of pushing too hard, or the lack of fiber, or holding it in when they don't feel like using a public restroom. The truth is, chronic straining isn't just about the moment. It's about the long-term consequences. It can affect your ability to hold urine, lead to prolapse, or make bladder leaks worse even when you're not straining at all. But here's the good news. Most of this is reversible. Gentle changes like adding more soluble fiber to your breakfast, staying hydrated earlier in the day, and using a footstool to raise your knees while sitting on the toilet can all help ease the pressure. You're not forcing, you're aligning. You're helping your body do what it was designed to do naturally. And let's not forget movement. A short morning walk, light stretching, even gentle belly massage can stimulate digestion in ways pills never could. You don't need harsh laxatives. You need rhythm, routine, and a little self-compassion. Remember, what happens in the bathroom doesn't stay there. It echoes into how you walk, sleep, and carry yourself. If you've been ignoring constipation or brushing off the straining as normal, now's the time to reconsider. Because every small shift you make toward ease, toward softness, also moves you closer to freedom. And your bladder will thank you for it. If any of these habits have surprised you so far, type the word "surprise" below. Because what we're about to talk about might be hiding in your closet right now, and it's not as harmless as it looks. That favorite pair of jeans, the fitted shapewear you pull out for church or family gatherings, the waistband that cinches just right. What if I told you that some of these might be quietly making your bladder more reactive and your leaks more frequent? Many women over 60 still enjoy dressing well, and they should. Style doesn't fade with age, but tight waistbands, snug pants, and shapewear that compress the lower belly can quietly interfere with your bladder's function. When something is pressing down on your abdomen for hours, your bladder gets less room to expand. Pressure builds. Signals become stronger and more sudden. Worse, the tightness can also affect blood flow and nerve communication in the pelvic region. You might not notice it at first, but if you found yourself leaking after wearing tight clothes for an afternoon, or feeling increased urgency after getting home and changing, this may be the reason. And it's not just pants. Underwear with tight elastic, belts, high compression leggings, and even some postural braces can all contribute, especially if worn for long periods. For women already dealing with pelvic floor weakening, that extra compression creates more tension than support. The solution isn't to give up feeling put together. It's to choose clothes that support, not squeeze. Look for mid-rise pants with soft, stretchable waistbands. Try breathable fabrics that move with your body. And consider giving your belly a rest day from tight garments after long outings. Your bladder and your digestion will appreciate the space. You might be surprised at the ripple effect. Less compression can mean less bloating, easier movement, better posture, and most importantly, fewer leaks triggered by physical stress. Fashion and comfort can coexist. You don't have to sacrifice dignity for dryness or beauty for bladder health. The next time you reach for that shapewear, pause and ask, is this helping me feel confident or just compressed? Because freedom isn't just about what's in your body, it's also about what's wrapped around it. You love your morning coffee, maybe a cup of black tea after lunch, or a bit of chocolate before bed. These small comforts help shape the rhythm of your day. But what if I told you that these familiar favorites could be quietly making your bladder more sensitive and your leaks more frequent? Caffeine is a natural stimulant. It doesn't just wake up your brain, it stimulates your bladder too. It increases urine production, reduces how long urine stays in the bladder, and makes the bladder walls more twitchy. That means even a little bit of liquid feels like a full tank and the urge hits faster, stronger, and harder to ignore. Now imagine that happening 2 or 3 times a day. A second cup of coffee mid-morning, a bit of dark chocolate in the afternoon, a diet soda during dinner. Alone, each seems innocent, but together, they build up a steady drip of irritation. For older adults, whose bladders may already be less flexible and whose pelvic muscles are more fatigued, this constant stimulation becomes a recipe for urgency and leakage. But caffeine isn't the only culprit. Acidic foods like tomatoes and citrus, artificial sweeteners, carbonated drinks, alcohol, and even spicy meals can all irritate the bladder lining. When that lining is inflamed or agitated, it sends mixed signals to the brain. Go now, even when it's not full. The result, that same frustrating dance rushing to the bathroom, sometimes too late. So what can you do? You don't need to quit coffee altogether, but consider reducing the amount, especially in the afternoon. Try switching to herbal teas or low-acid alternatives. Spread out your caffeine intake instead of drinking large amounts at once. Keep a bladder journal for a few days. Notice when you feel urgency and see if there's a connection to what you've eaten or drunk. These small shifts, less caffeine, fewer irritants, more awareness can lead to surprising changes. You might find fewer sudden urges, fewer nighttime trips, and a calmer, more predictable bladder. It's not about restriction, it's about giving your body a chance to reset. Because enjoying your favorite things shouldn't come at the cost of your confidence. And peace of mind should never be sacrificed for a sip of habit. You've heard of them, maybe even tried them once or twice. Kegels, they said, just squeeze and release. But for many women, pelvic floor exercises sound vague, awkward, or even a little embarrassing. And so, like most things that feel unclear or uncomfortable, they're pushed aside, forgotten. But here's the truth. If you've been struggling with bladder leaks, urgency, or a feeling of heaviness down there, ignoring these exercises might be the single biggest opportunity you're missing. Your pelvic floor is a group of muscles that sits like a hammock, holding your bladder, uterus, and bowels in place. With age, pregnancy, surgery, or even long-term constipation, these muscles stretch and weaken. And when they do, it becomes harder to hold it in, whether it's urine, gas, or even the sensation of needing to go. What's heartbreaking is that many women blame themselves. They think it's just age or their body falling apart. But muscles don't just fade. They respond. And even in your 60s, 70s, or 80s, your pelvic floor can be retrained, strengthened, given a second chance. The key, intention and consistency. It's not just squeezing at random. It's learning to activate the right muscles, gently, with breath. At first, it may feel odd or ineffective. But over weeks, sometimes even days, you begin to notice the difference. More control, less urgency, a sense of inner support you forgot you had. Start small. While brushing your teeth, waiting in line, sitting during a TV commercial break, exhale slowly, lift gently, and release with care. Think of it as reconnecting with a part of you that's been waiting quietly to be noticed again. This isn't just about muscles. It's about dignity, confidence, trusting your body again. Pelvic floor exercises aren't magic, but they are medicine. Natural, invisible, and entirely within your power. And no one needs to know you're doing them except your bladder, your posture, your peace of mind. Some days, your body just feels tired. The stairs look longer. The weather's not great. You sit a little longer after breakfast, and maybe again after lunch. Before you know it, most of your day is spent in stillness. And slowly, without warning, your strength begins to fade. You might tell yourself it's age, that it's normal. But what many women don't realize is that avoiding movement isn't just costing you muscle, it's costing you bladder control too. Your bladder doesn't work alone. It's supported by your core, your back, your hips, and especially your legs. When those muscles weaken, your posture shifts. Pressure on your pelvic floor increases. Blood flow slows. Your coordination, your ability to sense and respond to urgency fades. That's when accidents happen. Not because you weren't trying hard enough, but because your body didn't have the strength to help you respond. But here's the good news. You don't need a gym. You don't need to run. Sometimes all it takes is walking around the house every hour, stretching your arms, rising up and down on your toes while brushing your hair, sitting on a chair and slowly standing 5 times, 3 times a day. Movement isn't about exercise. It's about reclaiming motion. The motion that keeps blood flowing, nerves awake, muscles engaged, and dignity intact. And here's a secret: the more you move, the better your bladder behaves. It's like reminding your body, we're still in this together. Each step strengthens your core. Each breath improves circulation. And with time, confidence returns not just in your bladder, but in yourself. So if you've been avoiding movement out of fear, fatigue, or frustration, start again today. Not with force, with gentleness, with purpose, with beliefs. If this final habit struck a chord with you, leave a below, because the small steps you take today could be the reason you walk freely, laugh fully, and live confidently tomorrow. Today, we've walked through 8 habits, some hidden, some surprisingly common that may be quietly contributing to bladder leaks after 70. From late-night hydration to tight clothing, from caffeine to missed pelvic floor exercises, every small choice matters more than we often realize. If you've ever felt embarrassed or quietly ashamed, you are not alone. These struggles don't define you, they simply ask to be heard. Your body is not broken. It's simply calling for kindness, for awareness, and for a few gentle changes that can bring relief, peace, and confidence back into your life. If this video gave you clarity, encouragement, or just a little bit of hope, please consider subscribing. It helps us reach more women who might be suffering in silence, just like you once were. And if you're ready to take your next small step toward freedom, leave a below. That one emoji can mean everything to someone scrolling through, looking for hope. Because bladder leaks may be part of your story, but they do not get to write the ending. You do.